Ah. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. No, that's the cliche. Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Drones, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you how to set your grid for desktop and web screens. So basically, this is how I set my grid personally when I want to do web screen projects that requires sidebars, and those sidebars, the whole grid system and all of that was difficult when I was trying to learn it. So I decided to make this video to help other people. These methods I use for big project and desktop project basically. So let's jump right into it. I have my screen open here already, and what I do basically for the first time is come here, go to grid layout and add grid, then open the grid, go to columns. So you already have your columns here. I'll change my counts to 11. You can write down these figures also so that you can always remember them. It's easy to just change your counts and everything just fits automatically. I change my count to 11. So before I even do all of that, this is one little thing I do, because I want my distance to be 40, and it's going to be basically divided by 8, most of the figures I'll be using here. So first thing is I will come and give a distance of here and here is 80, let me just do 88, and then what I'm doing is I'm holding shift and alt. That's why this is coming up this way. So you can hold shift and alt on your keyboard, all these lines and dimensions will show up, and then I'm using the arrow key to move this particular frame I just made. So now from here I can see the distance between this frame and the edge of the wall is 40. So after holding alt on my keyboard and selecting a frame, if I move my mouse around, I can see like the lines coming up, distance between that element and every corner around it. So basically I'm looking for the distance between this element and the wall towards the right. So and that's 40. That's where I want to be. And I'll reduce this by any number I wish. I can Let me bring this down to 80. Ideally it should be 80 because it should just be 80. I'll explain why it should be 80. So I'll take this back to 40. Yeah, yeah, 40. And the reason why it's 80 itself is because the columns are going to be 80 by themselves. So let's get back into it. So we have this here, and then you divide this, and we have not 12, not 16, we have 24. So let me show you something before I go back into it. This is how my grid always looks like. This is like basically how a frame looks like normally on this is how a frame looks like normally. So while doing this, I can then, after doing this now, I'll go back into setting my frame. Remember, this is 80, the width of this is 80. I'm more focused about the width. Right now the height is less important. Less, not I, that's what she said. And 24 distance space. Yeah, so I will go back into, where was I? Was I here? Yeah, is where I was. So I'll go back in setting my grid. So since I have 11 counts here, and then I'll make this a left align, shift to the left, chill, and then the width of each column, as I said, is going to be 80. Which of each column is going to be 80, and then my gutter is going to be 24. Observe, aside from the count of columns, which normally can be 12 by other people, yeah, I use 11 specifically because I don't want it to span outside the space, and I don't want my sidebar to be too cramped. So I use 24 for my gutter because it's divisible by 8, and I can increase it by any maximum width I want divided by 8. And I use 40. I use 8-point grid system most of the time, so it works well for me. That's why my gutter is 24. The width is 80 because it's also divisible by 8 and supporting and like helping my 8-point grid system that I'm going to be using for the project. So and my offset, I can use a specific number, and that's 280. 280 is also divisible by 8. So these things are already things that I know offhand, and I just come and then I already said them because I know them offhand. But then if you don't and you want to figure out what works for you, this is what I advise you do. You then have like, this is already set for me. I'm already like halfway to the journey, or probably more than half. So at this point where, let me bring my offset. At this point, remember it's going to be offset, and to get offset by this side of by cancel me, sorry, the offset, yeah, this is where I am. To get offset here, you have to turn it to left or right. So this is going to be left, and I have my offset. You can turn this to right, and then you have to like rearrange the offset from here like this, and ideally it be 40. Now the offset is 40, and that looks like it makes more sense. Right or left, anyone. Mine, I always put it at left, and then I will take the offset to 80. I like if I big number. So, but then you can also make it right, and then reduce the offset to 40, and now you have your distance between that element that we're measuring. Now you see how it was very very blank like this, but now it makes more sense as to what we're doing. The width is, yeah, this is okay. This is what I moved. The width is 40, and the width of each column is 40. The distance between width and in terms each column and the wall is 40. That's what we want. And the distance between each element is supposed to be, yeah, this moved. Yeah, it's supposed to be 24. Now all those are divisible by 8 itself. Now for the sidebar, I'll just make a frame. Please use frames to design. Don't use groups. Don't use shapes. Thank you. Speaking from a very painful point of view. So let's go here and set this. So you could set this to however you want, but then we want the distance between this is 40, this is 24, and the distance between this last column here and this page should be 40. That way it helps align, and it just makes it easy for your work to have equal spacing. So because the user is going to focus more on this region, and then this region is like their main screen, so this should have like good spacing this side itself. So I'm going to put this here and then measure this 48. So I will just move this. I will select this black frame here, and then hold shift on my keyboard and then move this to by one distance, and therefore making it 40. Now the reason why I'm moving it by one distance and automatically making 40 is because my notch value here, where is that thing, please? Yeah, reference, my notch value here, my notch amount is 8. That means I will explain this in a different video. Let me not waste your time. And ideally this is how you set up your system, and then I'll just increase this to this wall, and then I have my grid layout automatically set. So with this method you can have your any other thing you want to have here all set up for yourself by yourself. You can then use 24. I use 24. I'll just make this 25 and turn this 28, 23, 23, 24. I have to be in class. Yeah, 24. I hate school. Yeah, then I can duplicate this, copy. That's auto layout. Yeah. Boom. You are done. So thank you for sitting in. This is how you set your grid system. You can always watch the video and get the like what's it called, the numbers I used. Yeah, so thank you for sitting. Have a nice day. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Yeah.